Hello there, Bran-Howl here. This is a video I've been looking forward to making for some time. I've been here 9 months now and will very shortly be ready to accept residence. That being said, there are some very serious downsides to living in Bran-Howl, potentially. One of them being that just 25 miles that way is the Ukraine border, and I'm sure we all know what's going on over there. Now, it doesn't really affect things here. We did have a power cut because of missile strikes, and in a lot of the media, it's reported that this is considered, Pridnestrovia is considered a Russian-occupied territory, which it both is and is not. Pridnestrovia joined the USSR 2 years before it collapsed, and then they decided that they wanted to stay with a USSR nation. So they broke away from Moldova, and there was a war, there was fighting, and the river, the Dniester River, is basically where the line was drawn. Now, Russia at that time in 1992, sent some troops here as a peacekeeping force. I'm sure that wasn't the only motivation. I don't think any country protects another country solely out of the kindness of being a good neighbour, for example. And there has been peace ever since then. For 32 years, there has been no fighting. Moldova isn't actually a part of the EU, but it does have trade agreements in place with the EU, and it shares those agreements with Pridnestrovia, or as the brown shirty types like to call it, Transnistria. But it's actually Pridnestrovia, PMR, Pridnestrovian Moldavian Republic. So there is that to consider. And when I moved here, certainly there was friends who weren't very happy about it. But I've been here 9 months, and as far as a war going on next door, you wouldn't really know it. The population here is about equally split Moldovan, Russian and Ukrainian, and they're all quite sad about what's going on next door, but there aren't many flag-waving types on one side or the other. They are often called pro-Russian, which they sort of are, as Russia pays the pensions here and provides them gas. But Russia doesn't recognize Pridnestrovia as an independent country purely because they don't want to join Russia. They want to be themselves. They want to be Pridnestrovia. And so even Russia doesn't recognize them legally. No country does. I believe there are 3 other disputed territories who do recognize them, but no EU or NATO country, UN, sorry, country recognizes them legally, which means that, for example, if you buy a car here, unless you have a special Moldovan number plate, you can't drive it around Europe. You can drive it in Moldova and Ukraine when the borders open up again, but you can't be taking off to Germany or Paris or something in that car. It also means that if you're importing things, if you're buying something from a company off eBay, for example, there is a 200 euro limit. Anything above that, and you pay quite a lot of tax, it's about 45%. Whereas if you buy something from a private individual, your limit is 450. So that's something else. If you're coming to Bran-Howl to produce and sell things, you're buying materials. If you buy something for 260 euros, you'll be hit with 103 euro tax, which is ridiculous if it's from a company. And when you send things in and out, it is all checked. You can't make a package and take it to the post office. They will open it, go through it all, and then reseal it for you. Now that's a Moldovan thing, because the post office here is Moldovan, and they play by the same rules, obviously. And you can't use credit cards here. They're not recognized, and that's not to do with any sanctions or anything. Because it's a disputed territory, the legal standpoint is if you have a HSBC credit card and you come here, you can't use it. You have to pop over to Moldova or over to Ukraine and use a cash machine or go to a bank. And the Pridnestrovian ruble is not recognized as legal tender. So, for example, if you bought a car or you bought a property, it would have to be in dollars or euros, because otherwise you won't own it. It won't be recognized if you pay in rubles. It's not a real currency unless you live here. That being said, you do have a lot of freedoms here. For example, I turned up here. I was given a 4-week visa to come and visit. Like, just given, you turn up, ask for it, they give it to you. It doesn't cost a thing. You get those 4 weeks. I then extended my stay by 3 years. And I went down to the local office, I filled out the forms, I showed them who I was, and I paid $15. And I have a 3-year visa. They don't do a bank check. They give it to you. If you want to live here, you're free to live here. If you buy land here as a foreigner, you pay 10% tax. So whatever the price is, plus 10%. If you buy a car here, you can only own that car for as long as you have a visa. So if you have a 3-year visa, you can own that car for 3 years before you have to either renew your visa or renew the car. But after a year, you can you will be given a Pridnestrovian passport. So there is that. There's also, you don't pay tax here unless you earn quite a lot of money. Well, not quite a lot of money, but I think it's over 15,000 euros, which, considering I'm running on about 400 euros a month, isn't really an issue. And with the same as the property here, you don't pay property tax. When you buy the property, that's it. If you buy 5 or 6 or 7 properties, or it's worth over a certain amount of money, then you will pay tax. But if you buy something for around 20,000, you don't pay tax. You're also absolutely free to build on your land. There are very few rules and regulations. The rules being, it has to be 2 meters away from your neighbor's boundary. It has to be structurally sound, i.e. safe. And you have to register it with the council, which again, there's a very small, like $10 fee or something, just so that they know what is here and to make sure you don't owe them any tax. You know, if you go and build a 12-story skyscraper, they'll be taxed. So from that point of view, having a micronation here is actually very good, because you don't have to tax people. It's cheap for people to live here. So if people want to be self-sustaining, that is totally doable here. Everything grows here. We've just ordered a load of seeds. We're growing woad, we're growing watermelons, we're growing chilies, potatoes, chickens, everything like that grows here. Wine, peaches, plums, cherries, we have all of that here. And you can literally harvest it, take it to the local market and sell it. And whatever the market charges you to be there for the day, that's it. The money you earn is the money you earn, and you keep it. So you do have a lot of freedoms here. You can do things. There are certain, obviously, because Russia pays for the pensions and the oil, the gas, sorry, slagging them off will have somewhere between heavy frowns and legal consequences for you. They don't like it, which is fair enough. If someone was paying for your heating and your rent, you wouldn't want someone biting the hand that feeds them. Also, you're free to come and travel around. It's not a communist country. They have free elections. They're more surprised to see foreigners than angry or upset. They can seem quite cold, but once you get to know them, they're really not. They're very incredibly warm people. I have neighbors across the way, a Ukrainian old lady. She brings me food every now and again because I'm a man, and obviously I can't cook for myself, so she brings me food. I haven't the heart to tell her I used to be a chef. So if ideally, someone at Bran-Howl would be someone who wants to follow their dream, someone who wants to come here and create things, live cheaply, be self-sustaining, and be free. If you have a plot here, you can build what you want, as long as you follow those legal rules, which will also be my rules. Why would I want you to build something that isn't safe? And it'll be registered. You could do really well here. I understand that while the Ukraine situation is going on just over there, A lot of people won't want to come here, and that's absolutely fine. I understand that, and that's why I want to make it clear that that should be a consideration. But again, like I said, the biggest reassurance I can give you is I'm going to be living next to you. I'm here. I've been here for 9 months, and you're not in danger. There's no threat here. No people, the news especially, say that Russia, what if there's an invasion? There's not an invasion. Russia's already here. They don't need to invade here. They've got their peacekeeping force here. No one's invading. It's not going to turn into a war zone. There's nothing to fight over here. And as far as the news saying that maybe Moldova will get invaded, there's nothing in Moldova that Russia would want. It's actually the poorest country in Europe. A lot of people say that Pridnestrovia is. It's close, but it's not. And the quality of living here is a lot higher as well. Just simple things like over Christmas and New Year, the government usually turns off the street lights at 12 o'clock. They left them on till the morning because people are out later around Christmas and New Year. So we'll leave the lights on for you. Little things like that. They do genuinely care about the people a lot more than most nations show. So, yeah, if you want to come here, be aware of certain things. If you have any questions, do ask me. Look at things in the media, but have a good search, because a lot of it is slanted towards Pridnestrovia being a problem area. At one point, it was technically more dangerous to be here than in Syria, which was ridiculous. As far as crime and all those sorts of things, yeah, it has it here, but not so much. Up north, there seems to be a lot of car crashes, but people are generally very welcoming, very friendly. Just the other day, when our Bran-Howl's 50th subscriber came, we were walking around one of the markets, and a lady saw that we weren't locals, and she just wants to talk to us. How did you get here? What are you doing here? What do you think of the place? They're very open and friendly. And so, yeah, it'll be probably another 2 months before we would actually be able to physically accept people coming here, which is why I've posted, starting to interview people. So if you want to turn up tomorrow, you kind of could, but I'd rather people wait. And plus, I do want to go through an interview process to make sure that we're going to be living together, so that we're going to be a good fit for each other. You have the right expectations, and you have actually a full picture of what is going on here and the exact situation. Just be open and honest. You can see exactly what is and is not possible here. So hopefully some of your fears will be allayed, and if they're too great, it's fine. You don't have to come here. No one's forcing you to. If you'd like to wait and see how things are in a couple of years, that's absolutely fine. I totally understand. I understand that not everybody is willing to take the leap that I took. And that's that, really. Thank you for listening. And again, thank you for 50 subscribers. A lot of people started subscribing because of some cat videos I put out. So they're probably quite confused about all of this. Thank you for sticking with us. And there'll be more updates very soon. Thank you very much.